Hey, Scruffy. Quiet meows tonight, huh? Okay, that's a little better. So I have a fresh can of meaty pate with real ocean whitefish, kibble, and more salami. Because you actually seemed to really like it at the end last night. So first, yeah, Scruffy didn't seem to be into it, but as the night went on and he kept tasting it, he really got into it at the end. So I got 3 more slices. There's actually quite a bit in the bag, um, but I think I gave him 6 slices yesterday. It took him a long time to get through. Okay. So yeah, yesterday when I ended the video, yeah, Scruffy was, I think, dealing with 3 more slices, and I decided to get up because I needed to water the yard, and so he grabbed 1 slice with his mouth and then ran off behind the table so he could eat it. So after I stopped filming, oh yeah, I put 1 piece in the remaining 2 pieces, one in the bowl, one on the mat he's sitting on. So basically when I stood up, he ran away with a piece in his mouth, and yeah, he was behind the table, he was chomping on it. And then I decided I was going to start watering the yard, and he didn't like me moving around, and I think he ended up circling around the table onto the other side, and that was actually the direction I was going to go to start watering. And so he was basically in my way, and so as I started slowly walking that way because I knew he'd get nervous, yeah, he kept seeing me, and he gave me this look as if I was going to try to take the food away from him or something. And so he kept looking at me, giving me the evil eye, and running back with the food, trying to get some distance. And then he kept running in the direction I was heading to water the garden, so I had to keep following him, and he really didn't like that. Finally, he ran into the garden, and I think he ran under the deck so he could circle back. And then by the time I came back here, he had already eaten the 2 remaining pieces of salami. And then I think when I had to water the other side of the garden, he was sitting in the other side of the garden, and so he was done with the salami. But yeah, he wasn't happy for me approaching that direction, so he ran under the deck again. And then I think I caught him one more time on the deck. I think he was sniffing around to see if there's any more salami. So yeah, I think he really liked the salami after he got used to it. So at first, yeah, it didn't look like he didn't. I don't think he wanted to eat it. He seemed intimidated by it. So he's probably never had it before. Didn't know what to expect, and probably smells a little funny to a cat. Doesn't smell that good either. Like I said, if it gets freezer burned or just too old and doesn't really have any flavor, doesn't quite smell appetizing either. It's not horrible, but it's not good, at least to me. So that's why I was thinking about throwing it out until I thought, maybe Scruffy would eat it. So I ate a few pieces just to see, and yeah, it didn't really taste good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good either. But I didn't get sick, so I figured, yeah, it's probably still safe to eat. It's not that tasty. Oops. Screaming. So we'll do 3 pieces tonight and see how he handles it. And then there's probably going to be a lot more pieces to come because I got a whole partial bag. It's not a full pack. So when I bought it, I opened it up and because I knew I was going to freeze it, so I didn't want to have to. I didn't want them all stuck together, so I'd be forced to thaw out the whole thing and then have to refreeze some of it. So I preemptively split it up into different Ziploc bags, and with the intention that I'll just thaw out very small batches when I want the salami. So this is actually the last Ziploc bag. And yeah, this one I think has been in there too long, or maybe it was affected when the freezer stopped working each time. So it's, I guess, happened twice now. And I'm unlucky with that, or with those freezers. Speaking of freezers, I did check Costco online, and they finally have the small chest freezer I was looking for in stock, but it's now $300 instead of $200. And as I said before, before the pandemic, it was $130, I think. So I'm not sure if I want to pay $300 for it. I was willing to buy it at $200, but basically, in 2 months it's gone up, $100. That's kind of ridiculous. Kind of hoping it may come back down to 200. I don't think I'm ever going to see $130 again, but 200, I don't know. That's so the only thing, I'm thinking it might do the 300 is, at least for the moment, they actually are offering free shipping, I think. So before I was going to have to, they actually didn't offer any shipping at all. You had to pick it up at the store. I don't think this one's actually in the store because I went to that Costco a few weeks ago and they didn't have it. But the online thing, I think it's like online only now, and they will ship it because of that. But they also jacked up the price to $100. So is $100 worth the shipping? I don't know. $50 maybe. I might do it without too much hesitation. But $100, that's pushing it. So I'm going to pay that much for a freezer. Maybe I should get a nicer one. So instead of a chest freezer, get an upright again. One that has a one of those defroster, or the thing that prevent I guess it's a built-in defroster. It's basically prevent the ice from building up on the walls. So this cheapy one I was looking at, which is not so cheap anymore, doesn't have that. You have to manually thaw it out periodically to deal with the frost, which is potentially annoying. I never had to do that before. I don't know how much of a hassle it is. The reason I kind of like the small chest freezer, though, is I don't actually need that much storage space. It's just me. So a full upright one is probably overkill. And then energy savings wise, I've read that the chest freezers are very economical. So they have two advantages. One, they have usually much thicker insulation, so you don't need as much energy to keep it cool. And then the other thing is because it's a chest freezer, when you open it, all the cold air doesn't fall out, so you don't waste a bunch of energy when you open it. Although I don't open it that much, so it's probably not that big of an issue. But the thicker walls might be. Yeah, I'm thinking of keeping it out in the garage. And the chest freezer is rated for garage use. So I saw an upright one at Costco last time I was there, and it was $600, but it was also rated for garage use. So, but I didn't look in depth on the power, the Energy Star stuff. So I actually don't know how much energy it uses. I probably should look it up. I didn't really want to pay double or $600 for a freezer when I was originally looking at only spending $200. But now that the $200 one's $300, I'm thinking, well, yeah. Okay, let's get your food. Okay, let's get your food. So I was wondering if he was going to start with the salami or the pate. So it looks like he started with the pate. So maybe the salami isn't as tasty as the pate. It's the ocean whitefish, so it's the smellier of the pates, so it's probably a little more appetizing to him. Okay, so it's hot. So let's see. Yeah, I didn't see Scruffy this morning. Came out the water, and it was really hot. It's at lunchtime, and so he was on the far side of the deck, and he was awake. Because it was so hot, I had a hunch that if I stepped a little bit back, he might actually approach the water bowl. Or if not completely, then he might approach just a little bit. So I took a couple steps back all the way to the house wall, just to see if he'd come. And sure enough, yeah, he did come all the way to the water bowl. So I guess because of the heat, he was thirsty. And so he actually, he walked under the table just to not get too close to me, but I was behind him this time. So he had to kind of keep an eye on me while he was drinking to make sure I didn't do anything funny. So he still looks at me suspiciously. So I tried to let him have a long drink, but it was hot out here, so at a certain point I decided, yeah, I'm going in. So I think I waited for him to when he stopped drinking. So he stopped drinking a few times, but I think like on the third time or something, I finally Scruffy was looking around for a second, but he's back to eating. So I was wondering what he was doing. So yeah, anyway, I think about the third time or so, I finally made a move to go in, and he ran away. So he was really jumpy because I wasn't that close to him. So I went in. I thought there would be a chance he'd come back to the water bowl, because I thought if I had not moved, he'd probably continue his drink, because he's had some long drinks before. So, but after I went in, he didn't seem to come back to the bowl, and yeah, I had stuff to do, so I wasn't going to wait around that long. But I didn't see him go back to the bowl, so I think he was done for now, or for then. So anyway, yeah, it's hot today, and it's going to get worse, I think, the next 2 days. And then it's going to ease off a little bit, but it's probably going to be about like what it is today. And yeah, the next 5 days of the forecast look pretty miserable. So I'm not a happy camper right now. So I am going to try to go for a run after Scruffy's done. It's eating the salami now. There's still a piece of kibble in the bowl. So it's still kind of hot right now, and I'm still early to dinner, but so I've been feeding them like almost an hour early recently, but I'm only like 15 minutes early or something tonight. So if I do a long run tonight, assuming I can even make it because the heat's so bad right now, the long run might actually make me not get back till after sunset, which is kind of a problem when I run because I can't see. But we'll see. I'm gonna give it a try, see how much I can do. So we ate one piece of salami, and that was back in the bowl. And there's some pate stuck to the golf ball. He just moved the big ball though. So he's going for the salami again. There's some stuff under the golf ball. I have to move the balls from him. So yeah, Scruffy was very defensive last night when I got up. So yeah, he's kind of defensive right now. But he's going to have to come back if he wants to lick the bowl and get the last piece of salami. So yeah, he does that with the chicken skin, he does that with the chicken bones also. So he likes to steal it and eat it away from me. It's kind of silly. So that's why I started cutting up the chicken skin, so he couldn't run away. I probably could cut up the salami as well. But I thought I'd keep it on the side since I'm a little dubious about its quality, so I'll let him decide if he wants to eat it or not. So let's see. Yeah, a few days ago on my run, I mentioned I saw a bunch of cats. So I saw the friendly cat. He was crossing the street, and he's crossing it kind of diagonally, and he was heading in one direction, and he was trying to pass me, I guess. So we were going opposite directions, and so I stopped and I looked at him, and I think he was trying to decide if he wanted to get pets or not, because he kind of hesitated and kept looking at me, and then kept looking at the direction he was going, and it looked like he was a little conflicted on whether he wanted me to pet him or if he wanted to just go wherever he was going. And there was a person, I think, further down the street. I'm not sure if he was heading towards that person or not, or maybe he was just curious. I think the guy was watering his car, or washing his car. And I don't know, the guy was in that cluster of houses that the friendly cat tends to hang out at, so it could have been maybe one of the guys who feeds the friendly cat. I don't know why Scruffy got terrified there. I didn't really move or anything. There's still a piece of salami back there. So anyway, after some hesitations, the friendly cat decided to, just keep walking down the street. So I didn't get to pet the friendly cat. And then I saw the friendly cat's pal on the way to the park. And then on the way back, I saw the pal and another cat that looked very similar to the pal. So they're both black and white tuxedo cats. And I actually had trouble telling them apart, so I don't know which one was which. But they're both hanging out at the same house. One was in the back towards the garage, and the other one was in the front near the sidewalk under a parked car. And I think that's the first time I've seen the other cat. I didn't get a very good look, so I think I can tell which one if I had a good look, I think I could tell which one the pal is, but they did look pretty similar just at very quick glance. Okay, well, I'm gonna clean up here. I think Scruffy's done with the salami. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.